The effectiveness of a team is measured by its ability to execute on its decisions. The biggest decisions your team will make are during its meetings. But there's so many problems with the way teams meet today. We have meetings to schedule meetings. We invite the wrong people. We solve outdated problems, and we walk away with underwhelming results, only to have those problems we thought we solved pop back up a few months later. The first thing we want you to understand is that we're not out here to codify the old ways of meeting. We all know it doesn't work. Just building software that amplifies problems isn't innovation, it's a dead end. We're different. We're here to share with you a transformation in the way people can meet. And that means letting go of some of the old, rote ways of doing things. If a team's effectiveness is a function of its decisions, then the quality and quantity of those decisions will have a dramatic impact on the delivery of results. When a team has the wrong people in the room, it's no wonder that we spend so much energy debating decisions that we ultimately have no authority to make. How many times have you had to juggle calendars to schedule a meeting 2 weeks out to solve a problem you're experiencing today? By the time you get to it, that problem's a few weeks old. It's no wonder we're solving constantly outdated problems. And on top of that, this problem has gone unsolved for a few weeks. Maybe it wasn't so urgent after all. Did it actually need solving? You kind of have to wonder whether those overflowing calendars are actually filled with outdated problems. Or maybe your team schedules meetings on the fly. Does it feel like you're constantly putting out fires? Well, when you're in it, the firefighting can feel like loads of work. But the problem is your team's not actually getting anywhere. When the needle doesn't move, disempowerment materializes, trust is lost, and participation wanes. And in turn, the quality of decisions declines, action declines, and an enormous amount of time evaporates into the ether. But here's the crazy thing. Your team actually wants to solve problems. That's why they organized. So we want to enroll you in running a new kind of meeting. Not a technology, a methodology, a process that solves all of these concerns at the same time. And yes, we're a technology company, but the technology simply augments the technique. We're the accountability, the rails that keep you on track. A Meetings.io meeting is scheduled just once. It occurs at the same time and at the same place every week. There's no prepared agenda, there's no prep work. You show up on time, and you bring with you only a completed to-do list, and gracefully allow your team to hold you accountable. You'll monitor your team's priorities and its metrics each week, and if you veer off track, don't dive into the minutia just yet. Instead, you should add them as a topic to potentially discuss later. Topics live inside of your meeting and persist from week to week. These are the problems and the opportunities, and you can't solve them all, and you shouldn't attempt to. Instead, the team decides in real time what you're going to tackle for the week. And instead of calling a meeting every time a problem arises, you'll simply just add it to your topic list. If it's truly important, indeed, if it's the most important thing for your team to address, then it will become prioritized, and then it will be solved. And hey, if it's not important, maybe you'll get to it next week. Or maybe it'll become irrelevant, and you can glow in the realization that you haven't committed any energy toward pointless things. To make your decisions concrete requires action. You and your team will take to-dos to crystallize the decisions you've made. This commitment to your team is sacred. Without completing your to-dos, your decisions do not get implemented. There's no action, and it's the same outcome as if you had made no decision at all. So it's important that your commitments to to-dos be held in the highest regard. So, no more scheduling, no more firefighting, no more pointless meetings, just one weekly meeting, overflowing with empowerment, with measurement, decisions, and action. Remember, there's only so many hours available to your team in a week, so it's pointless to go about generating more to-dos than can be completed. There's a better alternative. Instead of producing an endless list of to-dos through an endless number of meetings, you'll want to calibrate the duration of your weekly meeting so that on average, the topics you address generate just the right amount of to-dos to match the team's capacity. If your plate is full with commitments you've made to your team, then don't go around committing to more to-dos throughout the week. As a team, you've already decided on the most important things. The team must respect its own capacity. And likewise, the owner of a to-do should only commit to things they intend on completing. Moving the needle requires action, and action requires capacity. Decisions are not a democracy. The best decisions must be the winner for the greater good of the team. Larger teams call for endless debate, and while it's important to have a variety of opinions, it's more important that the team fiercely decide and energetically execute. You'll want to keep your meetings small, with people who are authorized to make decisions, people who are willing to be held accountable for their outcomes. So if you're tired of preparing agendas, if you're over meeting minutes and done with irrelevant, inconsequential meetings, if you are tired of spinning your wheels, then sign up for meetings.io today and have your best meeting ever.